Okay, why don't you tell me your name and where do you live?
My name is Arthur Fuller. I live in Mount Rainier, Maryland.
Okay, let's do that again. This time, just talk to me. So, what's your name and where do you live?
My name is Arthur Fuller. I live in Mount Rainier, Maryland.
Where's Mount Rainier?
Mount Rainier, Maryland is just south of College Park, Maryland, right over the D.C. line.
Okay. So, Arthur, what do you enjoy doing for fun?
I love doing anything that stimulates my senses. You know, normally it's related to wind, water. I love to ride motorcycles, skydive, rollerblade, ski, sail, and put the top down.
And how long have you been sailing?
Yeah, I've been sailing since '99.
99.
Caught the bug and haven't let it down. Last year I wasn't that much interested in sailing, but you know everything comes in ebbs and tides. But been at it for over 10 years.
How long have you been participating in international sailing trips?
Been participating in international sailing trips since 2000. Sailed a little bit around the world: Croatia, Spain, Greece, British Virgin Islands, Chesapeake Bay. Many more places to be discovered.
How were you introduced to bareboat sailing?
Introduced to bareboat sailing because I was listening to my nephew, and he was interested in sailing. And he was talking about sailing terminology, about trimming sails and all these different things. And I wasn't to be outdone, so I wanted to find out about it also. And I got more than I bargained for.
And what is it about bareboat sailing that you enjoy?
Well, bareboat sailing, you can either go as a participant or you can go as a skipper. I went as a participant initially, just to find out what it was all about. And then I realized that I like to be in charge and like to be responsible. And the next year, I chartered a boat myself. So that brought another element to bareboat sailing, and that you're in charge. And not just from a power perspective, but you're responsible for ensuring that everybody has a nice time. You're responsible for everyone's safety. And ultimately, you're responsible for the experience that everyone has. And you want all those to be positive. And bareboat sailing is just really a test of your wits and your knowledge. And it's an opportunity for you to kind of commune with God. Just being out on the water, and whatever He delivers to you, He gives you the skills to handle it.
Now, what is about bareboat sailing that you enjoy as a participant?
I did participate with bareboat sailing. Once I had a skipper on my boat, and I realized that I could actually sit back and just relax. And it gets to a point where there's nothing to do. And you don't have a choice. Sometimes you don't have anything to do. You pull out your BlackBerry, or you get on the phone, or you don't have anything to do. You go somewhere, you're on a boat, and you don't have anything to do. You really get a chance to be with yourself, and you find out things about yourself. And that's a nice part about it also.
Do you have any reservations or concerns about sailing at this point?
I have no reservations about sailing at all.
Why is that?
My body is about 75 to 80% water. So when I'm on the water, you know, it's part of me. The air that we breathe is the same wind that goes across the boat. And it's actually like flying, because you're actually flying sideways. It's just put you as part of the universe. It's magical. And the nights, you become part of the nighttime universe. In the day, you're with the sun, and you're watching the moon rise. I mean, it's just, you're part of the elements. And wherever you are on the water, think of yourself as being on top of the world. If you think of the earth, think of you being on that sailboat on top of the world. And that's how you feel when you're sailing, and it's just a wonder.
So, you in essence are one of the founders of Sankofa Odyssey Adventures. Why don't you tell your story about the founding of Sankofa Odyssey Adventures from your perspective?
From my perspective, I was introduced to sailing, and then I was introduced to bareboat sailing for a number of years in the same location, which was the British Virgin Islands. And I decided that I wanted to do something different. And my wife at the time, we wanted to go to Europe, to Turkey, and we were going to rent a cabin in a boat. And then I shared this interest with someone else, and they said, well, maybe we can get another cabin also. They said, you know what, why don't you get a boat and I get a boat, and maybe we'll do the Greek islands. And then somebody heard us over talk. They heard us talking, and they said, "Well, I think I can fill a boat. I think I can fill a boat too." Next thing you know, we had 4 people found in Sankofa Odyssey, and our first trip we had 5 boats sailing the Dodecanese Islands in Greece, and from there, just word of mouth and shared spirit continued to allow Sankofa Odyssey to grow.
What do you think about the cost of the trips for a Sankofa Odyssey experience compared to cost for other types of vacations?
Is there any cost associated with the trip? I mean, there's a fee you pay for some services and such, but what you're really getting is something that you can't pay for it. You're just paying for the boat, you're paying for the food, the experience. It's priceless, man. You can't pay for it.
Why do you think others will want to participate in something like this?
Well, initially others won't want to, but once they hear the stories, and some of the stories they won't hear, because sometimes what goes on a boat stays on the boat, gets washed away at sea. But it's the stories that other people have to share, and it's not just the stories, but it changes your life. So they're going to see a change in someone else, and they're going to want a part of that. But initially, it may be a hard sell. But once they see the joy that other people get from it, they'll want to do it.
Last question. Is it safe?
Safe. It's very safe. Skippers make sure that people are oriented on the safety aspects for the boat and do a good job preparing people about what to expect and what to bring. Of course, you're on the water, all kind of things can happen, but they're minimized just through not just common sense, but the skipper making sure everyone knows about different dangers that may be present. But I've never heard of anyone getting injured or anything like that. No.
Lastly, reintroduce yourself, but this time introduce yourself as a captain with your certifications. So, what is your name and where do you live?
My name is Arthur Fuller. I'm from Mount Rainier, Maryland. I'm a licensed Coast Guard captain and owner of a sailboat here. And my sailing grounds are the Chesapeake Bay.
Okay, that's good. Good points, man.